Tonight, no arrests and protesters get off scot-free after creating absolute chaos at Atlanta City Council. The group, part of Stop Cop City movement, came armed with thousands of ping pong balls and threw them at council members.
Yeah, you can see it right there. They also aggressively expressed their disgust with Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens, even though he wasn't there. Atlanta News First, Bridget Spencer joins us live. So, Bridget, it took 30 minutes to get this group out of the council chambers.
Right, what a day inside of Atlanta City Hall today. The protest itself was really pretty rowdy. It lasted about 15 minutes. They were throwing these ping pong balls toward the dais. Now, police were also present inside the council chamber, but did not make those protesters leave. In fact, the protesters ended up leaving on their own, some in locked arms, wearing shirts saying, "The people will decide, Stop Cop City." It was anything but business as usual at Atlanta City Hall Monday.
Please respect the right of others to speak.
Protesters with the Stop Cop City movement interrupted the meeting. They are opposed to the Atlanta Public Safety Training Facility, which is under construction. They carried a large banner saying Mayor Andre Dickens, quote, dropped the ball on democracy.
The messaging was that City Council and the mayor has dropped the ball, and we came with ping pong balls.
Protesters claim their voices are not being heard after collecting 116,000 signatures a year ago. That was all to try to get the issue on the ballot.
Cop City is going to be built in December, and I believe that if our vote got on the ballot the way it was supposed to, then it would have stopped.
Let the people vote, because sadly, they no longer trust you.
The Atlanta Public Safety Training Facility is a more than $100 million project that will house training for police officers, firefighters, EMS, and 911 workers as well. The mayor's office says this issue is still in the hands of the court. When we reached out to his office for a statement, they responded saying, quote, at the time the petition was submitted, the training center had been approved twice by the Atlanta City Council, with one of those approvals passing with a supermajority vote and after a citywide election in which every major candidate for mayor expressed support for the training center. Protesters say they're determined to make the city hear them.
They have blatantly ignored the people of the city, but that will not stop us from continuing to speak out, continuing to use our voice, and continuing to use the people's power.
And when the protests ended, City Council continued the meeting and started cleaning up the mess. Now, just a few minutes ago, we also spoke to Council Member Michael Julian Bond. He was just leaving City Hall for the day, and he told us about what happened earlier and how he felt. Take a listen.
Though it was interesting to see the level of energy and oomph. I mean, that was a pretty old school demonstration. You know, for me personally, I like that kind of stuff. I was raised in a house by activists. You know, I'm a former activist. I've been arrested, you know, for my beliefs and things. So it's good to see the activism.
Now, he also did say later on that he does, of course, support the right to protest and free speech, but he is in line with the city on this issue. He does support the construction of the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. We're live from Atlanta City Hall. Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
Warming up across